Nigeria's housing deficit is estimated to be at least 17 million, and experts say to begin to bridge that gap, the country would need at least 100,000 housing units each year. The experts were speaking at the 5th Annual Real Estate Summit in Lagos. They called for the total overhaul of the country's land policy, saying that the government needs to promptly address the bottleneck and cumbersome legislation on land acquisition for real estate players. Correspondent Abiola Ismail has that story.
Millions of Nigerians are homeless, while many more lack comfortable homes of abode. No thanks to different administrations in the country that have done little or nothing about providing affordable housing units for the citizens.
Writing standard for the informal.
That is the reason for this gathering. Stakeholders in the real estate and property business have come to discuss issues affecting inadequate housing in Nigeria and what can be done to arrest the trend.
Charges from the banks.
Discussing on the theme, looking inward, filling the gaps, experts in the housing business said governments must review and rework policies that will ensure private investment in providing housing for the people.
Our overarching legislation for land in this country is the worst legislation that you can ever think of. The Land Use Act is crippling, is stifling. It does nothing for us. All it does is create problems for us. Until that thing is repealed, we won't make much progress with land in this country. State governments can raise money without giving governors consent. Governors should be regulators of how land is documented and titled. They can make money doing that. But governors' consent, it leads to politicization of lands, all kinds of things.
Mortgage today is a very low rate compared to the GDP. It's at just maybe 0.05 of the GDP. I'm not saying we want to go to the US 61% or UK and France more than 70. If we just compare us to South Africa, it's around 25 or 22. This is already nearly $400 billion of investment in real estate. This creates a tsunami. This is how we should be able to help the real estate sector.
There are good news from government on ongoing plans to invest massively in housing, which will benefit local businesses and provide thousands of jobs for artisans in the country.
One of the things that will affect the affordability is the standardization. The house in Sokoto, a bungalow in Sokoto State will be the same type of bungalow in River State or Ogun State or Lagos State. The same size of windows, the same size of doors, so that if we can encourage the local manufacturers to start producing instead of importing. The government wants to do away with this dollar problem we have now. So we want to really encourage the local manufacturers to do so many things for the input of the housing. That will really reduce the cost.
This is a policy initiative, which means this is funded initially through the state as a starter. So the state would be the provider of the support, and this support would go directly to the individual. So that's the policy drive. And what support is it? It's the support of the differential between the desired single-digit rate and what the market rate is. The feeling is that as we develop the market, there will be a convergence. The existing market rates, because of the current environment, would gravitate towards that single digit, and so the support required would taper down going forward. But that is how policy has addressed this issue elsewhere where it's been successful.
This gathering believes as long as the populace are in tune with the government on provision of affordable housing units, housing deficit in the country will reduce by 18 million. Abiola Ismail, TV360, Lagos.